thought I'd give back to you guys because yeah, I've not been on much, and you might be wondering what's going on. And I know I'm losing subscribers. That's okay because some of my core fans will remain. Um, Fan is, of course, a loose word. Some of you guys will, of course, enjoy the channel, um, for what I've done in the past rather for what I'm doing now, which is not much at all. I'm not going to give you updates about my life because it's not the done thing on this channel. I mean, a lot of the stuff you'll glean from my videos anyway. I suppose I just wanted to say, thank you for checking in, and what updates can I give you that aren't related to my life? Um, Regarding the JC wagon, there's two wagons actually. There's the wagon that uh, you would have seen on a previous video, which is the huge wagon. Now, the huge wagon, there is an issue with that. I can't actually mention much about it because of legal issues, but let's say the law is on my side, and I'll leave that to your imagination. This JC wagon that I'm in at the moment, that I've been using to do most of my audits in, this is currently undergoing routine maintenance. Now, on this manufacturer, maintenance isn't really done, routine maintenance, because of the nature of the vehicle. However, due to the age of this vehicle, and you can probably get an idea of how many miles it's done by looking at those numbers, and you can probably tell it's been hammered. In terms of miles, it's done well and above what it's supposed to do in this time frame that I've had it in. So it's been used. Some would say it's been abused, but I would say it's been used very well. And there's some issues that need to be sorted out on it, and those are getting sorted. There's not much going on in the recording and auditing front. I am doing recordings and auditing as such, but I'm not uploading. This is due to I'm short of one of the factors that you need to do audits, and Ollie Bob would set you straight on that. I want to give shout outs, especially to certain people that I know have been involved in this channel in the past. People like Seymour Butts, people like Son of Sassy. There's no one like Son of Sassy. Extraordinary individual. Son of Sassy I'm talking about rather than Seymour Butts. Seymour Butts is, for me, like a jester, a foil, if you will. I hope you won't mind me saying that, because I know he's a real person of his own rights with his own hopes, wishes, and dreams. And I salute you, Seymour Butts. But it's really Son of Sassy that is the substantial contributor. Of course, along with Ollie Bob, both veterans of this channel, both stalwarts of the channel, who may have well unsubscribed, and I don't hold that against them. If they want to, unsubscribe, the both of them will hold a special place in my heart, and indeed for as long as I'm alive. I'll remember this channel and what they've done for it. Absolutely extraordinary stuff. In a word, I thank Son of Sassy for both supporting and keeping my attitude in check. Absolutely amazing stuff. And Ollie Bob, I thank for, again, being supportive, hugely supportive, and also educating me what good a human can do. I mean, this Ollie Bob is an extraordinary, I would say, good individual. He would say only Jesus is good. But I really do think this individual, Ollie Bob, is an extraordinary individual. I want to thank him for that. You may wonder where I am. I think if you know this channel and you know me, you can probably guess where I am. Or more likely what I'm doing. Yeah, and I'd like to just say a few words on the sort of things that are happening at the moment. So, in the news, I would assume Keir Starmer is having to do some explaining. He's under attack by the Conservatives as usual. He wants to bring in a few reforms. Please feel free to chime in and say your bit. Internationally, Trump has got in, so shocking some, and relief for others. So it's very interesting, isn't it, how Democrats didn't win. They may have lost touch with a certain element and alienated a certain element. So it's all very interesting, swings and roundabouts. Tough chords to push. With the incumbent Joe Biden's protege. I've forgotten her name. Kamala Harris. So no primary, got straight in. Bestowed, knighted as the successor. May not have worked in her favor. It's easy to say in retrospect, but at the end of the day, these are Homo sapiens. The latest iteration of a 300,000 year legacy. You know what I mean? So we are but muddling through life. Us humans think we are be all and end all. Of course, there are some humans out there that absolutely venerate animal life more than human life. Other animals, in fact, other plants as well. They're few or far between. Usually, you get the human thinking they're demigods, and just buzzing about their life. There's a lot of humans, going through suffering. There's more humans that are not, that are quite poor. England, USA, France, Germany, UAE, places like that. Obviously wealthy. Switzerland's wealthy. A lot of countries aren't. There's huge gaps, huge divides. There's wars raging around the planet. There's vested interests, mineral rights. There's power and corruption. There's the seeking of maintenance of power. All very interesting, all very complicated. There's economies, national economies. There's lots of things that I only have a whisper, not of understanding, but understanding that these things might play a part in some people's lives. They're humans that struggle with language. 30s, 40s, humans with learning difficulties. There are elderly people whose brains are shrinking, struggling with their own memories. If you like one, Kantian, Nietzschean way of looking at it, there's many conveyor belts. At the end of the conveyor belt, tipped into the refuse tip of humanity, and essentially the recycling of the human body. Whether it's going to be burnt or buried, or trampled on and forgotten in war. At the end of that belt, your body falls down into pits, and its minerals are recycled into the biosphere. And if you procreated on that conveyor belt, then you get a respawn on the, say, conveyor belt below it. Um, that's the new life you created. But that new life would obviously reach the end of their conveyor, and so on and so forth. So you've got these sometimes quite illustrious people that don't sire children, or give birth to children, and these people haven't procreated, passed on their DNA. But that's also okay because they could have contributed to society in manifold ways. Um, and yeah, so and then there's this human-centric way of looking at life on the planet, thinking that we are the be-all and end-all, that there's no other intelligent life out there, which is, in my view, my pathetic view, is absolutely ridiculous given the vastness of the universe. There's bound to be intelligent life, but given the vastness of the universe, we are not going to encounter these life forms that exist on other planets. That is for sure. And if you disagree, please chime in, talk to each other, introduce where you come from, just say one word. Don't be a stranger. We are all in essence strangers on this planet. We are all in a sense elopers. Just passing through, as it were. Our 75 years that we spend on this life, on this earth. Just a minuscule amount of time, but yet for us, it does seem like a lifetime because that's how we're conditioned. We grow up. If we live our full lifespan, it does seem like quite a long life. 75 years is quite long. Of course, we know people that live to 100, 90, and we know people whose lives are cut short at 30 and even younger, childhood diseases. So there's a sense of natural order and natural justice, and when things go against that order, of course, it does jar. But at least we tend to write down history in these days, and so we can learn about past mistakes. And of course, mistakes are repeated throughout political sphere, throughout different cultures and different societies. Mistakes are, repeated, whether it's a quest for greed, land, mineral rights. These things are cyclical; they might happen again, and therefore, some people believe that the civilization as we know it will die, and then other civilizations, probably earlier civilizations, will, primitive civilizations will reform due to climate catastrophes and war and disease. There's these sort of senses that like that, but at the end of the day, a lot of the scientifically minded know that the sun will swallow up the earth in a few billion years' time. When it's dying as a medium-sized star, these things are given, but we tend not to dwell on that. We tend, I think, as a sort of society, as a westernized society, should I say industrialized society, whether that's UAE, whether that's India, we tend to understand and acknowledge that there's some kind of climate emergency, and we tend to automatically assume that there's only a couple of generations left before the climate emergency really does take over. We do tend to believe that, and I think there is a tendency to want to think, whether we're 60 or 16, that the Earth doesn't have a long time to exist. By that we mean humanity doesn't have a long time to exist, maybe a couple of generations. There's that sort of held belief, whether it's popular fiction, Greta Thunberg, or even the political leaders, trying to ram the agenda of climate change down our throats with fines on industries and summits and stuff like that. You do get that sense. However, the alternative argument is that the Earth is very hardy. The cockroaches will survive, and let's face it, the other life forms will survive, and indeed many even animals will survive, and some humans will survive, even the direst of climate emergencies, because humans by nature are very, very adaptable. They adapt to their environment very, very well. And of course, if the sun was blackened out, there's lots of challenges, but humans are extremely resourceful. You might think twice about that. The way we panicked over COVID, absolutely buying en masse toilet rolls and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, look, you're listening here, and that's fine. Is there anything you want to say, want me to discuss? Just tap in the chat if you're happy to just listen. That's fair enough. It's 10:33 p.m. here in the UK. You're listening to JC Audits Waffle on a non-audit. The reason why I'm coming online now is just to stoke the figures up and maybe get my one subscriber back. That's unsubscribed, and maybe you want to also unsubscribe. Absolutely, completely understandable given the state of this channel, which is absolutely disgraceful, absolute embarrassment to not only auditing in the UK, but to my previous representation, reputation of having pumped out a video in a day. All things are cyclical. This channel is also cyclical. Is it in its dying embers? Is it about to be reborn? Well, I can tell you for a fact that it's not about to be reborn. It's not about to, spurt forth a video a day or anything dubious like that. No, that's not going to happen this side of the new year. It may not even happen next year. There's a change in priorities at the moment. So other things are being covered. However, like I said before, other generations may take up the baton, or this channel might continue to die a slow whinging death. And of course a lot of the material is available for you to view and to share and to comment on. I do get your comments still. If you're commenting on an old video that's a year old, if you type a comment, if you, it's all there. I've got this impetus to want to do interviews. That's just for my own amusement. Obviously, my channel is a bit of a hodgepodge. It's not police orientated or anything like that. Not even audit orientated. So I don't really know why I call it JC Audits in that sense. But it's a name that stuck. My channel used to be called Jesus Christ, and obviously changed that. The regulars will know that. Yeah, I mean, I've put a few things out. I've put a few videos out, lives out of late, if you want to know the sorts of areas that I'm operating in, and the sort of things that I'm doing. Then to hit my lives. If you want to interact with me more directly, go to the community section of this channel, look at the sorts of questions I've asked. If you want my email, it's jcaudits@icloud.com. Don't expect an immediate response, but it's there. If you've got any complaints or other things you want to talk about or email me about. If you want me to do a regular live, that may be possible, but some point in the future next year. But currently this month, the final month of the year, it's not going to happen. I'm just trying to think what else I can waffle on about. Is there anything you want me to talk about? There's 6 of you online at the moment. Probably none of you listening, which is absolutely okay. Talking for me is like a therapy. I mean, I could tell you why that's the case, but it would be entirely irrelevant because, generally speaking, I don't really talk about myself. I don't really talk about my personal life. I don't, display my face or anything like that. I value my privacy, and I'm sure I'd say 100% of you guys that are not commenting are also valuing their privacy as well, which I really, really encourage in this day of, in this sort of age of, CCTV and sort of like constrictions on our liberties, because if you look at your parents' generation, their grandparents' generation, and maybe, I don't know if you knew your great-grandparents, but the sorts of freedoms that they had and what they did as children maybe, and then looking at what we did as children or what we do as young people, and thinking, actually, are we more restricted or less restricted? Are we? What do our lives consist of? Is it more moving from room to room, location to location, as in like sort of like an interior location to interior location, or is it a life lived outdoors and roaming, or What are the needs that we have? Do we still have dreams? Are they unmet? If we look at a child's life, how are their dreams, hopes, and aspirations or drives being met? Can we look at children and think how they are freer than us, a sense of freedom that as we grow older, we tend to lose that and we tend to dumb it down and wrap it up in cotton wool and not achieve our dreams and hopes and wishes. Is there some of that going on? So, the freedom, you know, I think even Jesus said, Jesus was a great teacher, an absolutely fundamental uh, monolith of a man, a teacher, and who I'm sure existed. In my heart, I really feel he did. Jesus Christ, excellent teacher and an excellent sort of role model in a way, turning over those tables in the temple, because the gambling was pissing him off. I think that's an excellent move, a good move, a move that I'd like any of you today living in the UK go to NatWest, turn over some of those uh, writing tables and fling around some of those leaflets because you're upset. I mean, let's see how that goes down, and let's see the police come in. But no, please don't. But you get my drift. I mean, I think Jesus turning over tables in the gambling den in the great temple was a bit akin to that act of sort of semi-public disorder in NatWest of throwing leaflets around. Don't you think? Um, Hello, Samir. Yeah. Um, Tell me, Samir. I hope you don't mind me putting you on the spot a little bit, but can you tell me if you're in the UK, if you're in the US? I don't think you're in Venezuela, but I'd love Samir to just say a few words. Hopefully, not two words beginning with F and O, but something else. Maybe any of you other people would like to say something to Samir. Be nice to him. As obviously he's had the courage to speak out and say hello or hello. Actually, hello reminds me of the Teletubbies. Hello, doesn't it? Anyone remember Teletubbies here? Any of you, more importantly, speak other languages than English? I'm very, very open to other languages. Maybe you guys want to say a few words in your own language. Whether it's Arabic, especially languages with a different script. Russian. Just say a few words. Greek. Maybe we've got some Greek people here. Japanese and Chinese as well. Please do say something. Um, Samir, I'm guessing you're from Harrow. Am I wrong or am I right? I'm wrong, aren't I? Absolutely wrong. But credit to Samir. He's probably long gone now. He's realised how crap this little live is, and he's gone. But yeah, so open to languages and just going back then to our impermanence on this planet. Do any of you feel like me that really we're born through no choice of our own. We can't choose not to be born. Hello, we're suddenly born, and then we got these. Usually, we got these couple of things called parents, but usually they split up. That's also pretty normal, and we end up get reared by one parent, and and that can be tough. And we experience different things growing up. A lot of hurt sometimes, amongst the happiness, and we grow up. We find ourselves having to get jobs. We can progress in our career, do really well, have our own family, and then sort of kind of get older and older, and then have a family depend on us. Our family look after us. Repaying the debt that we hopefully did to them for them as children, and then us finding ourselves, with our memories going, and needing round the clock care, in and out of hospital, and then terminally ill, and then dead, and pretty much game over. Of course, I miss the retirement cruises and the anniversaries, wedding anniversaries, all these parties and all, etc. I missed all that out. But is there anything you disagree with about that? I mean, is that just the Western culture? How about the Asian culture or other cultures, maybe the Chinese culture, where there's more sense of, family values and just people, the older people living in the family rather than being outsourced to the state to look after and their health care. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer more of a state case care based system where the state should look after your parents as they get older, or as you get older? Would you want the state to look after you, or do you actually want your children to step in? Or do you actually understand, well, actually, my children have lives to lead. I don't want them to look after me, until I die. Let the state look after me. I've done my bit. I accept that that's right. Maybe you have a view on that. I don't know. But yeah, guys. Just going back to that fundamental question of, uh, assume some of you listening to me, maybe one of you is listening to me right now. I assume one or two out of the 10 might be listening to me. And if you are, then just reflect on, you know, that choice that we haven't got about being born. So we found ourselves born alive, presumably, rather than brain dead, able to make our own conscious decisions, able to pick up a piece of litter, put it in the bin on the street, not in your own house. That's different. Able to make some kind of difference for our fellow humans, whether it's waving to people, reasonably so in traffic. Thank you for giving way to me. Obviously, not waving at them so they crash, but all that kind of thing, all that kind of malarkey. Are we able to kind of give back to our fellow humans a little bit, or is it everyone to ourselves? Is it the question, if you feel stressed, you don't wave, which is understandable. So trying to cut back through that and just thinking, okay, I'm alive. What are my hopes and dreams? Are they fulfilled? Are they suppressed? Because you're not going to go to work every day and sort of saying to your colleagues, actually, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's my dream. No, you don't. You just play dumb, crack on with your work, get paid, go home, spend it, jack it up your veins, however you want to spend it, you do it. It's your money, isn't it? So, and there's this little circle of friends you go out with, trusted friends, you go and have a good time, you get high, you get laid, all this kind of thing, and then you go home, you're alone, and you do it all again, work, eat, sleep, rest, all that kind of thing. Or maybe you're older, maybe you've had your family, you've grown up, and the children are left home, they've flown the nest, and you finally, actually, I need to do this. I've always wanted to do that. Now the children are gone. Now I can do all that. Now I've got a bit of money behind me. Actually, I'm quite solid now. What cruise shall I go on? Which destination have I not visited now? Or maybe you bury yourself in charity work, thinking, actually, what about my fellow humans? Actually, I want to do this for them. I want to do that for them. There's all kinds of different modes of operating on this planet, on this earth. So what I'm kind of want to drill back down again to is the lack of choice. We're alive right now. Presumably, none of you are dead listening to this podcast. So my screen informs me that I've got 10 participants in this very small elite gang of listeners. Okay, so 10 of you are probably alive. I don't think you're all bots. It's unlikely that a bot would tune into this channel. So I would say 10 genuine alive people have tuned in. Most of these are going to be male. Most of these are going to be, I think, between 30 and 60. Would that be fair? I think most of them are going to be employed. I think a couple of those 10 are going to know me personally, as in they would know more about me than just the JC audits. They know a little bit about me. One of those might be a serial fan. They might know me quite well through the channel. But at least I'd say 2 have met me, because and all the rest are just going to be interlopers. They would have tuned into the channel because they've seen a live. Maybe they've seen a couple of my videos in the past, and I like that racist one. Yeah, we're gonna listen to JC Audit, see if he cracks on about those packies and stuff. We like that. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So there might be a bit of that going on. But at the end of the day, I think there is a bit of a sort of right-wing following to this channel, which is fine. Mostly conservative, which is absolutely fine. Um, and that's good, because some sassy once said, if you want to fly, you need a left wing and a right wing. It's no point in a right wing just flapping and the bird's going to fall out of the sky. There's got to be a degree of balance there. I'd say, I reckon most of you from the UK, and I'm going to try and get some of you to speak right now. If there's anyone that's from the UK, please say yes. Please say yes right now. If you're from the UK or you're in the UK, just say, yeah, I'm in the UK. It doesn't cost you anything to say, yep, I'm actually in the UK right now. Do any of you want to speak out? I encourage people not to speak out if they don't want to give away their handle, don't want to give away their name. Please do not say anything. I encourage you not to speak up. But if you don't mind your name coming on screen, then please do say something. Okay, so we've got absolutely no person bar Samir has come on. I reckon Samir is probably some snotty-nosed kid in Harrow who's not bunking off school, just done his homework, and he's thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna feel really like a grown-up now. I'm gonna go on JC Audits because I know my mummy doesn't like me watching JC Audits. I'm gonna go on there anyway. I'm so grown up, and I'm gonna go on JC Audits because sometimes he swears. And yeah, I wanna hear JC Audits swear. That's why, and that's why Samir's come on, and he said hello like a Teletubby, hello, and he's assuming he's doing something a bit risque. I would say a lot of you guys, there's some kind of dopamine payoff. It must be. Otherwise, you guys, come on. Some of you must be getting some kind of dopamine payoff from this. From listening to this channel. I really don't know. Maybe some of you like Teslas. I have no idea why you're watching and listening to this garbage. I would not. And in fact, I'm going to try and kick some of you guys off and bore you to death. How can I bore you to death? Because obviously I'm not being boring enough. I want to try and get the listener count down to 1. That'd be amazing. I think a lot of it's to do with me opening my mouth. If I didn't open my mouth, I think the channel count would drop. And I think I know what it is. I think I'll put my finger on it. I think the issue with humans is not, whether they've been given the choice to live or not. As in, oh, I've been born, wasn't my choice, boo-hoo. Oh, I've got to go through school, get a job, have children or not, and face a stigma, and then die, which is essentially the human lot, right? I shit you not. That's not the issue. The issue now for these 7 to 10 people that are watching or listening, of which one might genuinely be listening, is the reason why they're tuned and stay tuned is because of loneliness. And that loneliness is what I'm sharing right now. I am actually not only lonely, but alone. You can be lonely in a crowded room. I happen to be in an empty car. Well, I hope I'm bloody in an empty car right now. But you get my point. I think that what connects us as humans, even the couple of humans that might be listening to me right now, is our shared loneliness. Because, this loneliness, we are so cognizant and conscious of the fact that, oh, who's this? Yay! Seymour Butts! Yay! Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know. Listen, that air filter I had up the other day, and yeah, it looks like it needs a nice good poo, nice runny poo in there. Because as you know, being in the mechanics industry and having managed mechanics, you know as well as I do how dirty and stinky and dusty those air filters get. And yeah, I think a nice bit of runny diarrhea in an air filter, especially a Tesla one, would go down a treat. And yeah, and I put it on high, and really love the scent of the excrement coming towards my face, as as indeed your ears are being assaulted by the excrement issuing forth from my mouth. Yeah, Seymour Butts, I missed you, man. I actually gave you a shout out earlier, I think before you arrived, but because after all, you are part and parcel of this channel, very much so. Um, and yeah, thank you for your loyalty, thank you for your custom. Thanks for stopping by. You are in my thoughts, believe it or not, being a regular, and you know you're one of three that particularly have left their mark on this channel. I was going to say skid mark on this channel, given your sense of humor. You've left that mark on this channel, indelible, slightly smelly, maybe slightly caked on. White front sort of smell. But yeah, I'm not going to scratch and sniff it, mate. Yeah, I think you know what the score is. I can only apologise for this channel being so puny and lame. But I thank you that you popped on, and I'm sure you can go. Feel free to go back to your busy life and do what you do to distract yourself. I'm not going to take it personally, but I just decided I was going to come on because somebody dared to unsubscribe from the channel, and I thought, okay, maybe I can win a subscriber today. Yeah, such is my vanity that I think, God, you know, let's go on, try and, it's horrible, isn't it? This sort of cycle that gets individuals such as myself into this social media thing, and we crave this popularity. It's absolutely insane. It's a trap, of course. Yeah, of course it's a trap, and I've fallen, head and heels into it. But at the same time, in the same way, it's also a form of therapy for me, a cheap sort of therapy. Of course, you get assaulted by my words and my shaky camera, sort of skills, and the benefit I get is feeling less alone. It's rather sad, but I think this is some of the human condition. Yay! I've only got two listeners left. Let's try and get that number to 0. Um, yeah. So I think I'm going to knock this on the head fairly soon, and the number's gone up. I don't know what I can say, guys. I've just got a boy racer going past now in a Golf. Did you hear that? Is it a Golf? Could have been a Golf. Anyway. Yeah, what Seymour Butts doesn't know about cars is not worth knowing, guys. If you got any car-related questions, I have my guru, Seymour Butts, on the channel at the moment, live and direct. So if you've got any question about motoring, which car to buy, which car not to buy, then my resident expert, Seymour Butts, is here. Also, if you've got any questions about how to manage a team of tightly knit individuals, Seymour Butts is there to answer your questions and spread his knowledge, to give his quips and skills in many years in the industry of managing a team of sweaty men and boys. Well, maybe lots of boys, maybe more youths that he's had under his wing or not. How to motivate men when they're pissed off. Seymour Butts is the man to go to. If this was a war, Seymour Butts would have at least been a captain, probably even a staff sergeant. He would have been the man to go to motivate the troops. Seymour Butts would have taken the lead and led you out to the trenches and maybe even pulled you out. Seymour Butts would have always had a smile for you, and he would have been one singing "Pack Up Your Troubles." Actually, so we have a bit of a sing song, guys. Let's sing some war songs. That's bound to get my viewers down. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Cheerio, here I go on my way. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Not a tear, just a cheer, make it gay. Give me a smile that I'll keep all the while, Seymour Butts in my heart while I'm away. Till we meet once again, you and I. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Now you're going on your way. I feel so sad at heart. This is like a memory and part. And before you go, just whisper soft and low, just once for me to hear the words. I love you, dear. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Cheerio, here I go on my way. Wish me luck as you wave me goodbye. Not a tear, just a cheer. Make it gay, 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 gay. Well, there you go, guys. I don't know why on earth people are still tuned in. I'm gonna have to knock this on my head, on the head. Um, like I say, JCAudits at iCloud.com or communities channel. If you want to connect with me or other members of this channel, that's where you go. Why are there more people watching? This is where I kill this live. Lots of people watching. No